Hey, Sean, heard you mention on WGR the guys that'll be out. What is your level of confidence that Jordan Poyer will be able to play on Sunday?
Yeah, we're just going to take that one day at a time. He's one of those that are in that grouping. We've got a couple of those guys, maybe 3 or 4 of them that are still remains to be seen what they're going to be able to get done on Sunday. So I'll know a little bit more today. It may not still be definitive after today, but we'll take it one day at a time.
Thanks, Sean.
Yeah.
Hey, Sean, since you got to Buffalo and Leslie Frazier has been the defensive coordinator, I mean, you guys have put up great numbers on defense and have always had a really good defense. How did Leslie Frazier earn the respect of just the entire defense? And it seems like anytime new players come in, that respect is earned very quickly. A guy like Von Miller already says really great things about Leslie Frazier. So how have you seen him earn the respect of the guys who've been on the team since you came in, and then a bunch of the new guys coming in as well?
Yeah, I think that's an easy answer, Maddie. Leslie's so consistent. His consistency is what separates him. Having played the game at a high level, he brings that to the equation as well. But I think players want, sometimes more than anything, to know what they're going to get from a coach. Wins, from a win, from a loss, from tough days, easy days. That Leslie's just very consistent, and I would just say that I think that is what players want and respect the most about Leslie.
And then just from your perspective, what is your favorite thing about Leslie Frazier since you've been around him for several years now?
Yeah, even I would say the consistency, Maddie, is big, but also, he was a head coach at one time as well. And my prayer is that he can get that opportunity again sometime. I think he's earned it. Having said that, it's just, that resource that he is for me, of being able to say, hey, what do you think? Let's talk about this situation. Because there's not always clear answers to everything or solutions like I'd like there to be. So Leslie's a great resource for me in our building here.
Thanks, Sean.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, I was just wondering, when did the injury for Jordan Poyer happen? Was it during the game? Was it practice on Wednesday? We didn't really.
Yeah, it happened in the game, and it's been sore since, and so just a little bit. We knew a little bit more about it more recently than after the game there.
Okay. And do you feel a pretty good level of confidence that Milano will be able to go after a stinger?
Yes. Yeah.
That's all I got. Thank you.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, John Worrell here. Just wondering, what is your level of confidence that you have in a back end that's going to be a little depleted of experience, whether Dane Jackson and Jordan Poyer can go?
Yeah, very confident in our football team, John. Listen, I know we have a number of injuries here, but remain very confident in our football team, very confident in the back end, in particular, to your question here.
Thank you.
Sure.
Hi, Sean. I was talking to Kaiir yesterday. A group of us were, and he was talking about, going from college to the pros and, trying to improve his technique and get more comfortable in the zone scheme. How much have you seen him, even since the start of training camp, develop in that area?
Yeah, I would say he's done a great job of improving, and that starts with being open to new things, right? And listening and being coachable. And I think he's done a phenomenal job of that, and then applying it on the field. He works at it every day, not just on the grass, but also off the field, whether it be in the weight room or what have you. So he's a dedicated professional at a young age, and I think that's a great approach as a young player.
It's great that you mentioned that, because I think we've all observed it too in the field house. Like, he's always after practice working. Like, sometimes you got to wait a while for him to get back to the locker room. Is there ever a time where you got to, like, as a coach, dial some of that back? Because he's so determined, it seems, that you maybe want him to just relax a little bit, or do you like that?
Yeah, no, I try to use some of my own experience and impart it on him from the standpoint of you got to know when to say when to yourself. And so that self-awareness of working smarter, not always harder. I know it's hard for me to even believe I'm saying that, but yeah. And so that, you know, at the end of the day, he's got to be fresh enough to perform come game time. So you don't want to wear yourself out either. So there's a math to it. There's a science to it. And I think he's learning that as well.
Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hi, Sean. It's Jay with the Buffalo News. In regards to Dane and to Micah, I think it's fair to say anytime that there's a neck injury involved, there's a heightened level of concern. That's true, you know, from fans, media, and I'm sure from the team as well. Just if you could, I know you don't want to get into specifics, but in general, if you could share any kind of information in terms of what your conversations with the training staff and with the players themselves have been on their status. I mean, I know we've kind of seen them out there, but you know, what kind of updates have you gotten on those two guys in particular?
Yeah, I mean, you know, they're both coming off of obviously significant situations, serious situations, like all injuries, in particular when it involves the areas of the body that theirs did. So really going anything beyond that, I think, Jay, would be irresponsible on my part, because I really don't know anything more. They both seem to be, you know, moving around. They're walking around. They're in the building here, and they're going about their business, trying to improve each and every day. Obviously not going to make this game. Other than that, I don't have anything else for you at this point. We're just going to work with them on their cadence and their timing at this point.
Okay. And I asked this of Josh yesterday, kind of half jokingly, but I think it's kind of fair to repeat. Do you remember what it's even like preparing for a 1 o'clock Sunday game? I think 5 games in a row you haven't played at that time, which is fairly unusual.
Yeah, and that's something to be aware of too. You know, that I want to make sure our players are aware of that, because especially our young players, right? Because it can sneak up on you fast when you're now into you're going from long weeks, and then the game time, as you mentioned, to a bang, all of a sudden short week. So we're not really getting back to a 7-day week, normal schedule. Now we're in a short week on top of that. So just those young players that aren't used to that, right? Coming from college or what have you. So it's the awareness, I think, is the important part on the front end of it.
Sounds good. Thanks, Sean. Safe travels.
Thanks, you too.